Hi, it's Andy Barker here for RehabRoom. Recently I launched an ebook up on the site, rehabroom.co.uk, which is my own website, and all the details and about how to get the ebook are up there at rehabroom.co.uk, so by all means have a look. But what I want to talk about today in this sort of video post is one of the steps I talked about during the sort of 5 steps about how to get a job in professional sport. So the step 5 I spoke about was actually trying to get help, so getting help from other people. So you know, the people you need to get help from, or I would advise to sort of could help you out in, you know, about how to build your approach and get an opportunity within professional sport are generally those that have followed the same path you're wanting to sort of take. So, you know, someone like myself, when I was sort of looking to get into sport, you know, I enlisted the help of someone who was working in this club, so working at Leeds at the time. How I came to meet him was a bit of an interesting story. I actually saw him initially as a patient, and at the time he was working with the academy in a part-time role, and you know, unbeknown to me, the ways and means I actually went through about actually trying to organise a formal student placement actually were really good, but I didn't really know I was doing it at the time. It was sort of by accident really, but looking back now and in hindsight, you know, the ways and means I used to sort of build my approach and actually build a conversation and actually also build some rapport with this person, obviously enabled me to show interest. So he knew that I was interested in, obviously, in the profession of physio, and that's what I wanted to sort of study. So, you know, a year, 18 months down the line, when I was then, you know, studying at university to become a physio, when I contacted him again about the possibility of getting a placement here at Leeds Rhinos, you know, he met that with open arms and actually went well out of his way to sort of help me out. So, you know, I want to share with, you know, with you guys who sort of want to get in professional sport, whether that's rugby league, football, rugby union, whatever its sport it may be. You know, it's really important that one of the biggest hurdles you will come to is actually getting that opportunity. You know, once you're in through those doors, once you've got your foot in the door, you know, you can showcase what you're all about, but actually getting that opportunity in the first place is probably the single, you know, hardest thing you will actually do. So that's why I'm real passionate about, you know, speaking about these sort of things in these video blogs, and I'll be launching a series of information in February of next year, which will obviously showcase and it'll show you everything that I've learned from going through that process, and I've enlisted the help of, you know, for some of the content with other people and their ideas and the conversations that I've had with other people, and it's all the mistakes that we see, you know, week in, week out, when people, you know, are asking us for placements and people are asking us for jobs, and really, you know, the ways and means that go around doing them are often very, very poor. People sometimes butcher some of these steps. So, you know, it's all about, you know, getting it right. And one of the biggest tips and one of the steps, obviously, I speak about in the ebook is about getting help. So, you know, even when I was you know, in that environment, I enlisted the help of someone who was already in the organisation. That's not necessarily the case, and you don't necessarily have to, you know, be mentored by someone who's, you know, in the club or the team that you would maybe want to work. But, you know, getting help from someone who's followed a similar path and so who's maybe, you know, done all those things and got a job in professional sport, and that's something that you aspire to doing, is massively going to help you out. So hopefully, you know, some of my content will give you some ideas and help you out. And like I say, some of the, you know, the program we're going to launch next year will hopefully be of great use if that's, you know, the career path that you want to take, and if you want to get a job, you know, in professional sport. Now, once you're in professional sport, you know, getting help and getting mentored by people is obviously of great importance, and obviously they're going to help you, you know, flourish as a clinician, as a healthcare professional, as an S&C coach, as a, you know, sports scientist, or whatever domain you might be in professional sport. So I feel very lucky that you know, I've had some great mentors. When, you know, when I was a junior physio at Leeds, worked under a physio, David O'Sullivan, who was then sort of went on to work over at Munster and at Huddersfield, and has got a real successful sort of private practice now in Huddersfield. You know, he was great for me during my early sort of couple of years as a physio. I was the assistant first team physio and he was the head physio, so I learnt so much during that period, and we're good friends now, and obviously we're both physios, so we bounce a few ideas off each other very regularly. You know, if I have a tricky, you know, player or even patient in private practice, he's probably my go-to man and who I'll go to speak to. So obviously getting help off other people, you know, it's not, I don't see it as being a weakness. Sometimes people look at things slightly differently, and getting help off people, whether you're unqualified and trying to get into sport, or whether you're in sport, like myself, you need to do that, and it helps you. I think it makes you a bit more rounded professional, and there's no weakness in obviously asking people to sort of help you out. So he's been a great sort of mentor for me, both clinically and also since I've set up my own practice. He's massively helped in sort of that, and he's obviously on the end of the phone or text if I need some assistance with that. So to summarise today's video post, it's really important. It's really going to help you out if you can get help from the people that have trod on the same sort of track that you want to follow, and people that have gone on the same journey as you, and you can learn from the mistakes that we've made, to try and obviously not make those mistakes yourself and maximise your chances of obviously trying to get a job in professional sport.